Supergirl Season 2 has been so much better. It's been leaps and bounds better than Season 1. And Episode 7 of Season 2, The Darkest Place, the episode that aired tonight, uh, was no exception to that. It was a phenomenal episode. And really, what I like about this episode, a lot of other reviewers aren't liking, and that's Guardian. We get to see James Olsen sort of become this vigilante, and a lot of people are saying, oh, well, his motivations don't make sense, but they really do to me. James Olsen is just a guy who wants to protect the city, and he feels like standing on the sidelines isn't doing it. And so this episode, we see him come under fire as the media portrays him as the killer, who's actually Philip Kornowski, we figured out, an ex-Marine whose wife was wrongly killed and not prosecuted by the guy who killed his wife was not prosecuted, and we see him sort of like killing people, and they believe it's the Guardian killing people, not him. And so you have this cool vigilante fight off, and it actually reminded me of something from the earlier seasons of Arrow. Just watching it, that's the sort of the style, and I really do like the Guardian plot with James and with Win. I just really think it's entertaining and fun, and I think that was the best part of the episode, surprisingly. I feel like it outshined the Supergirl plot. But then again, you don't need this James sort of transformation uh, into Guardian to overshadow Supergirl, and I feel like it did that in this episode. But I think it was fine for this episode, but hopefully they don't do that in the future. Basically, the plot involving Kara was she got sent to Cadmus because they sort of kidnapped Mon-El, and she meets her father, and her father helps her escape. They steal her blood, and we figure out that there's a cyborg Superman. And this would normally be really cool, but in this case it was odd for me just because Cyborg Superman took on the form of Hank Henshaw. So it's like, if you're going to have a Cyborg Superman, he should probably look like Superman. I understand he has the consciousness of Hank Henshaw, but it was a little bit odd for me, and I just didn't feel this storyline was as good as the the Guardian storyline with James and Wynn. But I mean, it had its moments. We also got to see the White Martian storyline with John Jones and the lady who we knew from the beginning was a White Martian, but now, of course, she came out, and I kind of feel like it was well put together, but at the same time, I think it was sort of stupid how he didn't see that or couldn't tell. But I feel like we did get some strong emotional moments between John and Magan, and I really think that their character plot going forward will be interesting as we see that John is becoming sort of a White Martian now. But I really loved this episode in the aspect that they explored John's past more. I felt like after last season, the episode that sort of explained the past of his people and stuff, I thought they were just going to shove it on the bridge, but it's cool that they brought a White Martian who's actually a good person into the storyline. So it's going to be fun to see their arc, sort of see where they go in their relationship now that Jean knows she's not a Green Martian, she's actually a White Martian. But overall, this episode was entertaining, and it was probably one of my favorite episodes of Supergirl so far. And surprisingly, it's not because of Supergirl, it's because of Guardian. So I really do think they did a great job with James Olsen, showing him becoming this sort of vigilante. And I really do like the street level fighting he brings to the show. So I would have to give this episode about an 8.2 out of 10. It wasn't the best episode of Supergirl, but then again, it was a very fun episode. And as I said, I'd give it a higher score if Guardian's plot didn't overshadow Kara's plot. Because it is Supergirl, it's not Guardian. As much as I like Guardian as a character, I don't want this show to become about him. I want to see Kara be a little bit more center stage. But overall, it was a fun episode. I hope you've enjoyed my review for Supergirl Season 2, Episode 7, The Darkest Places. Remember, like and subscribe for more reviews. This has been Jonesy from Joneser TV, signing off.